Hey, how you doing, guys? I want to take you for a journey with me today. We're gonna start this journey doing that knife, the giveaway winner's knife, Robbie's knife, small gators. I'm gonna show you how I just the basic drawing, how I draw the design on a piece of steel, and today what I'm gonna do is probably just cut the corners with the band. So I'll show you how I do that, how I do that basic cutouts on the steel. Before I want to show you though, real quick, you see this huge pile of wood. Got a really cool hookup through a friend, the same guy that I went fishing with, the sea fishing, Nick, and he has some pretty cool contact that once in a while gets some cool exotic woods, and I gotta say I'm blown away. I never had this much handle material at hand, and it was really cheap considering what all is here. Amazing. This is something what's called, it was labeled Bubiania, I don't know, but it's pretty cool looking wood, you see that. Then I have some black palm, very good looking piece. All of these are 1/4 inch thick and about 4 inches by 12 inches, so like ideal knife making size. This one is pretty cool. This is a yellow heart, very cool. It reminds me of that Osage orange that I used before once. Very nice yellow color. This one is this one was named Sapeye. Again, pretty regular but pretty cool looking wood. It has some nice grain in it. This one is very pretty. Is this one labeled? This one wasn't labeled. I don't know what this one is, but they are paired up black and lighter, but I think it's the same wood because they were paired up with the light and dark, and the structure of the wood is very similar, so very good looking wood. It looks like a ebony or something like that, and all of these are really hard woods. This one is very nice, also rosewood, yeah, Amazon rosewood, very pretty wood. That's quite popular on the knives. You've seen that I think pretty often on a lot of different knives. One of my favorites, Paduk. Oh, gorgeous wood. Definitely one of my favorites. Very light, still pretty hard, and very easy to work with. Beautiful color. You see that even on the camera. Beautiful color. And 6 huge scales of purple heart, which I know again a lot of people like. It is quite popular, very hard, and it has very nice color and very nice grain in the wood. And last but not least, huge piece of leopard wood, which is gorgeous. It's even nicer than the one that I put on the Excalibur because it has like really tight structure, really tight grain. Super awesome. I think I have like lifetime supplies of wood now, and not just any wood. It's pretty cool wood. I paid a little over $60 for that, which is really, that's nothing. If you know the prices around of this type of wood, you know that it's really nothing. But let's get into this. So I have the piece of steel, and I have the picture Robbie emailed me of the knife. Here it is. A lot of you will recognize it. Pretty basic looking knife. Nice belly. So let's start. What I would start with this one is the belly. You see that he left that front straight with the top for about 3 inches. So let me grab a measuring tape here, the ruler. So he left the front about 3 inches straight with the stock, then belly about the same thing, so probably about 2.5 inches is where the belly starts. So I'm gonna make that nice curve here. I hope you can, you cannot really see it on the camera, so I'll move you here a little closer so you get a little better idea. So I measure about 3 inches on the top. That's what's going to be the straight switch. Then about 2.5, 2.75 of an inch. That's where the belly starts. So I marked that and did the belly. This is all just roughed up. You know, this all will stay there. The magic marker, the Sharpie, stays there even when you grind it. So that's what I use. It works for me. It's perfect, and I really don't complain. Now about his handle is the part that I'm gonna be a little doing my little own thoughts into it. And his handle is 5 inches from the end. So 5 inches I'm gonna mark. That's where his kind of like a thumb ramp starts, like this. And his handle is squared off on the end. One thing what I will do the drop here a little bit, because the squared off top corner is uncomfortable, especially on these big choppers. Your hand will tend to have the palm right back here on that corner. So I'm gonna round this off a little bit like this, come down to that little like spike, like a bulb, secured bulb, then round off. Again, one thing, he had kind of like a finger grooves. I will get rid of them because that might be an issue in use. Finger grooves, if they are not perfectly matched to your hand, and even then on big chopping knives, it might cause trouble with the heavy use, because the forces that your hand is dealing with chopping with such a big knife, it's pretty big, so it can cause a trouble. One more thing, what I told him, I recommend doing kind of like a finger choil here, the way I do them normally. So then it comes here. I do that little kind of design like he had. I'm gonna put this kind of like a relief little angle here. That's what he had in the design, and I'm gonna keep it as close to his design as possible. So here the edge will start, and here slight little recurve. He wants slight little recurve like this. Yep, something like that, maybe a little closer. That's all being done as I'm gonna be shaping it and grinding on the belt sander already. That's all it. And one more thing is actually here from the thumb ramp, it's gonna go down a little bit again, and so here, so it will here, and the whole length of this will get dropped a slight little bit, like so. This is gonna be kind of tricky to do this nice and even the way I do knives, but I think I can do that. I have an idea. So that's pretty much it. And now then later on the holes, you know, there will be a linear hole on the end, probably some tube holes, or the, you know, the hardware holes throughout the handle, like so, something like that. I doesn't really need lightning holes in there, because the blade, it needs a weight in handle to compensate the weight. So that's pretty much it. That's the design, with little input from me on the handle, and I think it looks cool. It's very similar to what Robbie did, except that end corner and the finger grooves, but other than that I think it's very similar to Robbie did. And I'm gonna just jump into the dirty room now and show you how I cut them, how I cut, you know, this corner. I'm gonna try to make my life a little easier, to do some cuts in here, and you'll see, you'll get the idea. Alright folks, so I clamped down to my table, piece of steel. I took this is just regular motor oil, and I'm gonna put a fair amount of that motor oil where I'm gonna be making the cut. So imagine I'm gonna be doing straight cut like this, and I just loaded with motor oil. I have this is the small Milwaukee, the compact bandsaw. I'm gonna be getting the bigger one, so I can get the nice table, like a stand table for it, because it makes life so much easier and it is a little more powerful. And but this get the job done, especially the thinner steels. Now once I learn the trick with the oil, I can cut even the thick stuff, even 3/8. It's really not a problem. Even this smaller one, I mean, it is smaller one, but it still kicks 6 or 7 amps, so it is pretty strong device. Just be careful with this because they don't make the tables for it. And by the construction, how the plate is, this plate, your kind of like a tool rest, or you know, the material rest, it's just, there really isn't a way to make one unless you would be really handy with all different tools or stuff. So for now, just like freehand cutting, but like I said, it gets the job done. I actually got this on pretty good sale, and I'm actually thinking once I get my bigger one, I might be giving this one away to some other knife maker here around YouTube. So you keep your eyes open for that one. Just putting my security mask on, the whole face mask. You want to make sure that it's on the slowest speed. So you see, I cut the first corner off. That did a lot of help. You know, it might not looks like a lot, but piece like this, it does take a fair amount of time and a fair amount of the belt to sand, you know, to grind off on the belt sander. It does, yeah, like I said, it doesn't look like much, but it is quite a big piece. Not big, but it does save you nice amount of time and belt. So I'm gonna do the same thing here on this corner, and then I'll try to make some cuts into that handle area. It's actually funny, I never made cut like this. I got lucky. I made a nice radius and cutting pretty big chunk. I never managed to do this cut like this.
That's awesome.
That is really cool. Like I said, I never managed to cut out a circle like this. I must have got lucky. This is a brand new blade, so it is going really well. They don't last very long, these blades, so don't get fooled by that. With one blade, which is about $10 actually, you only gonna do about 2 or 3 knives like this. They're basic cuts. So don't get fooled by that. So that should be it for now, and the next step, actually not now but probably tomorrow, will be doing the basic shaping of on the belt sander. So hope you enjoyed it, guys. Hope you found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Take care, stay safe, and remember, don't cut yourself.